So about Bleach. A few weeks ago I made a video about Bleach where I talked about my thoughts and impressions about the trailer, and everything I said was overwhelmingly positive. The hype train was still going on at the time, so I guess you could say that I was influenced by that as well. But this new season is giving a bright future for Bleach. Lots and lots of people are starting to get interested in the show now that it's having its comeback. At first I thought this would be great. The series is gaining lots of new fans that will watch it on release. But I was thinking about it in class today, staring at the board daydreaming. This might end up as a hidden thorn for Bleach, because from what I can see, lots of the new fans are going in with very high expectations. Before the trailer, literally no one was talking about Bleach. Even the Bleach fans themselves were not talking about Bleach. There was nothing really left to talk about. The series ended a while ago, and at the time there was no future for the anime. The series fanbase was pretty dead and forgotten, especially for a show that is part of the big three. But ever since the trailer, Bleach is among the most talked about shows right now. In my group of friends that watch anime, none of us talked about Bleach. Besides me, only 2 out of my friend group watched Bleach before, but now it feels like everyone has been a Bleach fan forever. It's not just in my group of friends either, but everywhere pretty much. None of this is bad necessarily. There is no way that getting more people on board to a series is a bad thing. If more people are enjoying the series, it can only be a good thing. It's nice that Bleach is back in the conversation of animes. What is concerning is people's expectations for the show, or at least for the final season. The trailer came out only a few weeks ago, so most people are not that deep into the series yet, maybe just past Soul Society or in that ballpark. So where they are at right now, they are probably enjoying the show so far. But unless they skip the filler, I feel like a lot of people will start to dislike the series. I have no idea how the experience will be if you did skip the filler, because for some reason I did decide to watch the filler, and most of the filler is kind of not that good, to put it nicely. There was probably only 1 or 2 good arcs out of them. If you take out the filler, Bleach actually gets a lot more shorter, because in the anime there are only 2 completed arcs, that being Soul Society and Hueco Mundo. But it feels like there's a big gap between the end of Soul Society and Hueco Mundo. The Hueco Mundo arc actually happens directly after Soul Society, where Ukiura and that other guy show up to Karakura town, but they have a bunch of filler arcs between the two, making the gap feel a lot longer than it actually is. A lot of my friends are watching it, and I made sure to tell them to stay away from the filler. That's probably why I'm not head over heels for the show like other people. I mean, it's good and all, but I'm not gonna start foaming at the mouth for every bankai. I probably would like it way more without all the filler. If I could put it into a better perspective, let me compare it to Naruto, because Naruto is like the universal benchmark for animes. It's neither good or bad when you average out people's opinions on it. Naruto is just Naruto, so it's best to use it as a baseline to compare other shows. At least that's what I like to do with it. If I see a show I like or dislike, I compare how good it is relative to Naruto. So if Naruto was a 1, I would say Bleach is like a 1.5 to 1.75. I think a lot of people are getting the wrong idea about Bleach, at least the new fans. The final season isn't actually all that good, at least from what I hear from people who have read the manga. The trailer looks super good, so I don't blame people for making that assumption, but it is kind of misleading people. I know animation can elevate the quality of an anime, like look at Demon Slayer for example. I guarantee it would be nowhere near as popular if it had average or a little above average animation, or comparing it to the manga. It just makes the show a lot more enjoyable with the way it was adapted, with the animation and music and all that other stuff. Demon Slayer is a prime example of this, but Demon Slayer isn't really bad writing, unlike the final Bleach arc. The final Bleach arc got rushed, and Kubo ended up skipping over a lot of stuff. Fights were cut over entirely, and people were dying off left and right off screen. So unless they completely revamp it, because it makes 0 sense to not use this opportunity to rewrite the final arc, lots of people are going to feel misled. I don't consider myself a Bleach fan or anything, or an avid fan of it at least. I watched the show, but I don't talk about it or recommend it to people or anything. But even I felt nostalgic about that trailer. As someone who wasn't that big of a fan of the show, if it does get revamped, it'll probably end up being a really good arc. I don't know the full picture of the arc, I only know bits and pieces, but if it does get fully rewritten, it would probably turn into a really good arc. From what I know, most of the things people complain about with Bleach are due to time crunches and stuff. I know some people say Bleach falls off after Soul Society, but to be honest, that isn't really true. It's probably because of the filler that was squished in between, but I think the story is actually pretty well made. From what I can see from my friends, they are really enjoying it skipping the filler. One of them are just reading the manga straight up, so they get to see the art as well. The panels look really good too, at least in early Bleach. That is one other highlight of the show, how good it looked. It's probably one of the best stylistic anime I have seen. But yeah, that is pretty much all I had to say. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe for future content. Peace.